Is it running? Yeah, just make a nice shape.
It's just worthless. It's going to be like, look how that's why. You know, I was writing my thesis. Oh my gosh, 50 years ago, and I went in the library, and there was a lot of German books that were on Greek military affairs, and I saw one. It was actually a pamphlet, and it had, I think it said 1933 1, and I didn't know what it was. But then when I started to read the book, it had so much stuff about race, you know, like the Helots were genetically inferior or something, and so forth. But my point is, it was the year one of the Third Reich, and it was an alternate date for the publisher. But what I'm getting at is, if you today are studying classics and you want to go back to some really seminal works, if you go to work that's published, I give them a little credit, maybe 1934, 1935 to 44, it's worthless because it's all imbued with National Socialist subtext everywhere. And it has a lot to do with race and ethnicity. And my point of all this is I think the 1990s is pretty worthless now when you go read articles in my field. It's Derrida, Lacan, Michel Foucault, postmodern. It's just silly. And now I think then the 2000 to 2020 is pretty much worthless. It's DEI, diversity. So that's modern academia is what I'm trying to say. You define something. Early American history is attempts to find transgenderism in the founding fathers. Yes, to define something well-written that is well-written and not written in verbiage. You have to go before 2000, and if you don't, you'll have to get somebody outside the university. There's great writers outside the university, but not somebody that's tenured in the Harvard History Department or somebody. It's going to be ideological. Stanford History Department, ideological authority. Since the founding of America 250 years ago, many things have changed, but some things never do. The commitment of husband and wife, the importance of passing along our values to our children, the faithfulness of government. Some wonder how we can ensure America will continue to thrive. As long as we keep first things first,
Yeah.
we've only just begun.
Oh, yeah.
America, the
Oh,
beautiful.
beautiful.
I'm so glad about the great news you're sharing. Well, it's for yourself, and I dodged a bullet for 120 days. As one oncologist said to me, that you never are cured of cancer. You are relieved of it. And that means it can put another person. I have a good friend I mentioned, Max. He has a lot. He's an engineer.
Is that the
So he's
one?
a very scientific mind. He sent me a nice email today. I mentioned it to him. And he showed me that the life expectancy of where I am now at 72 is the same as the Signatara expectancy. So in other words, when you get 2 or 3 negatives, you still have cancer. If it comes back, it may not come back till you were going to be dead anyway from another cause. I think people are 78. But the closer you get to 78, I think your odds go up living a few years beyond that. Almost Max applying, and you may be 87 and still doing these podcasts with me and Sammy. I don't know. He didn't give you a shelf life, did he? I don't know about that. I try to get analysis, a critique of my podcast, believe me, from every single day. Oh, I see, yes. Some of them are very
Alexa,
constructive,
shut your ass off.
some that try to be constructive or not. Anyway, I just want to mention, please folks, go to civilthoughts.com. Sign up for Civil Thoughts. That's the free weekly email newsletter I write for the Center for Civil Society. Comes out every
She
Friday.
didn't give me a hard
Absolutely free,
time
selling your name, et cetera.
about my use
13
of language.
recommended
She
readings,
just shut off.
great articles I've come across the previous week. I know you will like. It was Hans
Son of
Sand's
a bitch,
website.
you know Dirty mouth.
Victor Davis Hanson in his own words. Thank you everybody for watching and listening. Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Signal. Please like, share, and subscribe to be notified for more content like this.
Potty
And
mouth.
also check out my
Oh,
own
such a
website
potty
at
mouth.
victorhanson.com and subscribe for exclusive features in addition.
It is such a beautiful morning. You think they're gonna help the children in the hands of these sick, murderous pedophiles? One can only hope and pray. Doing all we can do. Glory be to the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Karofsky, you are a senior executive at UBS, is that correct? Yes, Senator. And several years ago, UBS bought Credit Suisse, is that correct? Yes, Senator. And in doing so, UBS assumed Credit Suisse's assets and liabilities, didn't it? Yes, Senator.
I need to find a VCR. You know where I can find a VCR? Not ordered online. That's what everybody says. Pawn shops and like old electronic stores, stuff like that. I know. Ooh, yumminess. I need a really good shake. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful morning. Temperature's beautiful. Sun is nice. Yeah, it's like, this is a perfect weather right here. Perfect weather. Well, we're going to do a just for today. And we're going to do May 5th because it's May 5th. I know, I opened right up to May 5th. I swear. I did not. You can rewind it and try to see, but I'm telling you, it just randomly happened. May 5th. The title, Know Where You're Going. The title, T-I-T-L-E. Know Where You're Going is the name of this one. May 5th, page 125. Know Where You're Going. The title, Know Where You're Going. K-N-O-W, the title, T-I-T-L-E. The title, Know Where You're Going, question mark. Was spread over the top of an advertisement of a New York savings bank. The rest of the ad read, drifting along, question mark, or set on a course towards a business of your own, a home free and clear, a good education for your children, early retirement, financially independent old age, question mark. If ended up with this admonition, if ended up with this admonition, really enjoy life, steady saving does it. The idea that all one has to do to enjoy life is to have a healthy savings account goes a little too far. To be sure, a bank balance does help, and God wishes us to have our daily bread and butter with a little jam occasionally, but He didn't mean that we could expect to have our own heaven on earth. Life here below, according to His plan, should be merely a stepping stone to eternal happiness, and never an obstacle to it. And those seeds who are sown among the thorns, well, some would say, yes, heaven is a place on earth. You disagree with that? Right, but they're not saying that that's what is. They're saying he didn't mean that we could expect to have our own heaven on earth. Yeah, we have heaven on earth all the time. It's heaven right now. This is really heavenly. For sure. Right, I mean, there are those things that which we cannot change, and some of them are very horrible things, but that's why they say you have to be at peace with that. So you can enjoy heaven on earth. For what purpose? It's a good question. And those seeds who are sown among the thorns are they who listen to the word, but the cares of the world and the deceitfulness of riches and the desires about other things entering in choke the word, and it is made fruitless. Mark 4:18 through 19. Oh Lord, teach me to keep first things first. And we'll do May 6th tomorrow, if we make it. Do a Bible reading. But of course, you're welcome. Yes, thank you. Page 708, chapter 3. The hidden counsels of God. But the souls of the just are in the hand of God, and no torment shall touch them. Thank you, I just made it this morning. The yin yang and stuff is an old piece, but I put it on some new rope. But the souls of the just are, chapter 3, the hidden counsels of God, section A on suffering. Did I miss that the first time? Thank you. But the souls of the just are in the hand of God, and no torment shall touch them. They seemed in the view of the foolish to be dead, and their passing away was thought an affliction, and their going forth from us utter destruction. But they are in peace. For if before men indeed they be punished, yet is their hope full of immortality. Chastised a little, they shall be greatly blessed, because God tried them and found them worthy of himself. Has gold in the furnace, he proved them, has sacrificial offerings, he took them to himself. In the time of their visitation they shall shine, and shall dart about as sparks through stubble. They shall judge nations and rule over peoples, and the Lord shall be their king forever. Those who trust in him shall understand the truth, and the faithful shall abide with him in love, because grace and mercy are with his holy ones, and his care is with the elect. Thank you. Sometimes, we like to do a little extra personage. Oh, sure. Yeah, kind of like improv class. We love it. Just whatever we're reading or doing sometimes to enunciate a little bit. Some call it eccentric, some call it crazy or schizophrenic or bipolar, bipolar. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on its level of awareness and class. It appears to be that way. I mean, many, I think, are aware of these things and do the best they can to try to bring forth those understandings without seeming too nice or like a tree hugger. Trying to help the ball, people. Whatever it is, depending on what circle you're in, it's going to be different. Right. You gonna talk to the police? Don't even talk to the police. Yeah, so when you start to understand some of these loops and groups and the ideology, and you see it in these areas, you start to see how simple it would be to bring those educations and teachings to all of our public school systems, and then when they want to laugh that off as though it's impossible, no, we have lines of communication that can do that. Are you stupid? Right, and then when they want to act like, no, you're a stupid conspiracy theorist, and they need to get to their Botox appointment, and they get paid a lot of money by news corporations to report the truth to you. Yeah, it's very confusing to us. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. Thank you. Right, I mean, you can see people can put on different personalities, right? Like all of a sudden I can just start to act like really hyper and oh my god and ha, or I can get really mean and tell people they need to wake the fuck up around here and help those kids, right? So I mean, it all depends on what's in your environment, I guess. Right, so sometimes expressing that just helps some people. Some might call it eccentric, some might call it crazy, annoying, dangerous, gonna make you eat maggots, gonna take all the life-saving medications. Yeah, it gets really ridiculous when you think about it. Yeah, so for us it does. It's kind of like almost medicinal in a way, just being able to express those different emotions and personalities. Or, you know, if I pull out a psychology book, maybe I want to act a little more professional as your stereotypical type psychologist, like Fraser Crane. Right, like you have to have a certain demeanor, right? You can kind of be very vast with it, but there are certain standards. If you are a professional psychologist, you know you have to refrain from telling someone, suck it the fuck up. Right, you can't do that. So it's a completely different character you have to put on. And if that's your occupation, whether that's you or not, or what you'd really like to say, you can't. And whether or not you think the vaccines are dangerous, you still have to. I know, and you know it's wrong, and I think you tell yourself it's okay and you want to believe the crazies and the psychos so you don't have to feel like a piece of shit and that you're actually killing people because you're a doctor and you're a good person and you would never want to accept that you're actually killing people as opposed to saving lives. I know. It's very hard. We've actually had a lot of doctors and good people kill themselves over the years just because of that. That's why we try to share love and forgiveness and teach people to stop the blame game, stop yelling at the police, stop yelling at the doctors, whatever it is. Wake the fuck up and acknowledge the facts and concerns we're talking about, and that'll help eliminate a lot of that, but nobody seems to want to do that because it's a business, I guess, like anything else. Very frustrating, yes, to say the least. But the wicked shall receive a punishment to match their thoughts, since they neglected justice and forsook the Lord. Since they neglected justice. I've been working on that, thank you. And forsook the Lord. Forsook, that's a good word. Forsook. Oh, forsook. I'm going to make that a new word I use instead of saying the F word. I'm going to say, oh, forsook. You're welcome. For he who despises wisdom, yeah, it's the chainsaw outside. Yeah. Just grooming, probably. Grooming background, the tree, the power lines and stuff, the limbs. It's very important for grooming and stuff like that. Yeah, because if a wildfire ever did break out too, you don't want a bunch of dry, dead limbs and brush. You want to cut off all the ones that maybe are going to fall off or be a dangerous hazard. You don't want any limbs falling on people. is. You know, a lot of people take pride in that kind of work, and it's a great job and skill set. You get to be outdoors a lot. A lot of people really enjoy it. Some piss and moan, you know, just like any other job, right? Some really love to wait those tables. They really do. And others, they just complain. Complain. It's always something. Taxes, tips, and tits. Tell you. Anyways, where were we reading from? For he who despises wisdom and instruction is doomed. Vain is their hope, fruitless are their labors. Is that still recording? I can't even see the screen. And worthless are their works. Their wives are foolish, and their children wicked. Accursed is their brood. Section B on childlessness. Yes, blessed is she who, childless and undefiled, knew not transgression of the marriage bed. She shall bear fruit at the visitation of souls. She also the eunuch, whose hand wrought no misdeed, who held no wicked thoughts against the Lord. For he shall be given fidelity's choice reward, and a more gratifying heritage in the Lord's temple. Eunuch. Eunuch. It's a place? I have no idea. I'll have to look it up. Heritage in the Lord's temple. For the fruit of noble struggles is a glorious one, and unfailing is the root of understanding. But the children of adulterers will remain without issue, and the progeny of an unlawful bed will disappear. For should they attain long life, they will be held in no esteem. In no esteem and dishonor will their old age be at last, and dishonored will be their old age at last. While should they die abruptly, they should have no hope, nor comfort in the day of scrutiny, for dire is the end of the wicked generation. Next is chapter 4. I can read that part really quick. Sure, section 840. I was planning on just doing it just for today, because you asked so nicely and I really don't have anything else to do. Chapter 4. What? Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Chapter 4, page 709. Better is childlessness with virtue, for immortal is its memory, because both by God is it acknowledged, and by men. When it is present, men imitate it, and they long for it when it is gone, and forever it marches crowned in triumph. Victorious is unsullied deeds of valor. Victorious in unsullied deeds of valor. So let's talk about the word sully. What else is the word sully? So everyone in class is using different examples of the word sully and where they've heard that or what it means. Sully. Oh, the name of, what's his name on Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman? Wasn't that the name of the Indian guy? Sully? I don't know. Maybe? Oh, we used to have a Sully's restaurant, didn't we? Was that called Sully's over by White's Auto Parts? It's not White's anymore. It used to be where you brought your junk cars to. Yeah, they'd buy old junk cars and other stuff too. It was called White's right there on 17. So yeah, so a little bit before that, I think it was called Al's at one point, or the A1 Diner. And then wasn't it Sully's for a little while, and they did like bands and stuff there too, didn't they? They had live bands and you could go have a steak and stuff. Yeah, I remember we went there a few times. Yeah, it was almost right across from, you know that place, there's the White's Auto there on the same side as that, and then on the other side, probably a little closer to it, that other car place that had the old punch buggy hoisted up on the thing. I'm sure it has a name, probably. That's funny. Alright, chapter 4. Better is childlessness with virtue, for immortal is its memory, because both by God is it acknowledged, and by men. When it is present, men imitate it, and they long for it when it is gone, and forever it marches crowned in triumph. Victorious is unsullied deeds of valor. But the numerous progeny of the wicked shall be of no avail. Their spurious offshoots shall not strike deep root, nor take firm hold. For even though their branches flourish for a time, they are unsteady and shall be rocked by the wind, and by the violence of the winds. Uprooted, their twigs shall be broken off untimely, and their fruit be useless, unripe for eating, and fit for nothing. For children born of lawless unions give evidence of the wickedness of their parents when they are examined. Section C, on earthly death. But the just man, okay, thank you. But the just man, though he die early, shall be at rest. For the age there's a lot of shoulder shaking, all right. I'm going to get through section C, okay? Unearthly death. But the just man, though he die early, shall be at rest. For the age that is honorable comes not with the passing of time, nor can it be measured in terms of years. Rather, understanding is the hoary crown for men, and an unsullied life the attainment of old age. He who pleased God was loved, he who lived among sinners was transported, snatched away, lest wickedness pervert his mind, or deceit beguile his soul. For the witchery of paltry things obscure what is right. For the witchery of paltry things obscures what is right. And the whirl of desire transforms the innocent mind. Having become perfect in a short while, he reached the fullness of a long career, for his soul was pleasing to the Lord. Therefore he sped him out of the midst of wickedness. But the people saw and did not understand, nor did they take this into account. Yet the just man, dead, condemns the sinful who live, and youth swiftly completed condemns the many years of wicked man grow old. For they see the death of the wise man, and do not understand what the Lord intended for him, or why he made him secure. They see and hold him in contempt, but the Lord laughs them to scorn, and they shall afterward become dishonored corpses, and an unceasing mockery among the dead. For he shall strike them down, speechless and prostrate, and rock them to their foundations. They shall be utterly laid waste, and shall be in grief, and their memory shall perish. Do one more. page 1162. The would-be followers of Jesus. You're welcome. Thank you. As they were proceeding on their journey, someone said to him, "I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus answered him, "Foxes have dens, and birds of the sky have nests, but the sunbirds of the sky but the Son of Man has nowhere to rest his head." Yeah, I skipped a line. I'll restart it. The would-be followers of Jesus. As they were proceeding on their journey, someone said to him, "I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus answered him, "Foxes have dens, and birds of the sky have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to rest his head." And to another he said, "Follow me." But he replied, "Lord, let me go first and bury my father." But he answered him, "Let the dead bury their dead, but you go and proclaim the kingdom of God." And another said, "I will follow you, Lord, but first let me say farewell to my family at home." To him Jesus said, "No one who sets a hand to the plow and looks to what was left behind is fit for the kingdom of God." Well, thank goodness we don't have to abide by all of these things, huh? And what did they mean? Return of the 72. The 72 returned rejoicing and said, "Lord, even the demons are subject to us because of your name." Jesus said, "I have observed Satan fall like lightning from the sky. Behold, I have given you the power to tread upon serpents and scorpions and upon the full force of the enemy, and nothing will harm you. Nevertheless, do not rejoice because the spirits are subject to you, but rejoice because your names are written in heaven." Glory be to the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you. You're welcome. These clouds look really cool. Yeah, you want to see? Unfiltered, but still filtered. Is it still with the naked eye? I mean, you're looking at the screen with your naked eye. Technically. Nothing. It was nothing.